Hello, beautiful bitches. You know what time it is. It's time for a cooking show! And we have another request. So apple pie it is! I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving, by the way. Hydration is key. Well, that landed in the garbage, so it lives there now. Nice! On to pie time! So we're making some apple pie. Now, for the crust, I'm making double because I'm also making a turkey pot pie for dinner. Because we got some leftover turkey still that needs to get ate up. For homemade pie crust, I like to use the 50-50, where you use 50% butter, 50% shortening. If you don't like it, so be it, but it's a little bit more durable and not as temperamental as an all butter crust. As well as, let me tell you what, this booty don't need no more butter. So first things first, you're gonna want some butter, you're gonna need some shortening, you're gonna need, it's a full boy. You're gonna need some flour, and, look at this. This is chaotic Saturday energy. And you're gonna need some salt. It's so full. Alright, so first you're gonna need 2.5 cups flour. Hi. How you doing? Good to see ya. Fabulous. You're gonna need 1 teaspoon of salt. Now whisk it together. Once it's all together, we're just gonna set it aside. Now get you a little baby grater out. Yes, it has to be a baby grater. Actually, no, it doesn't. I just like my cute little baby grater. And you're gonna take 1 stick of butter. It's gotta be frozen. You're gonna grate it. Got flour on my shoulder. Working up a thirst. Whew. Okay, so once all of your butter is grated, we're actually going to pop this back in the refrigerator. So that way our butter stays nice and cold. You gotta have it cold. But I want to make sure that you have a bowl of ice cold water. Set it aside. Alright, to your flour and your salt, we are now going to add 1/2 cup of shortening. Get it in there. Alright, so with your hands, we're going to start breaking up the shortening a bit. And we're going to try to get it crumbly a little bit. Now remember, we still have to add the butter. We're just waiting for the butter to cool back down a little bit. Once shortening's incorporated, you're going to add your grated butter in. And very gently, because we don't want to handle this a whole lot, into our flour. Till it's nice and crumbly. Now, to here we're going to add some tablespoons of ice water. Get your wooden spoon. Get in there. Slowly start adding a couple tablespoons of it at a time of ice cold water and then mixing. We're going to do this until a dough starts to form. No! I'm just putting shit everywhere. Alright, once your dough has come together, we're going to move all this shit out of the way. I made such a mess. The dough has kind of come together. We're going to go ahead and get it out here. And get all those little bits. It looks like I may have added just a hair too much water, so I'm going to add a little bit of flour. Believe it or not, pie crusts are normally more forgiving than people give them credit for. I don't know if with this filter you'll be able to see it, but that butter is marbled right in there. Yes! Now, with your recipe, you'll just get a single one like this. You're going to cut it in half. That way you have one for your top and for your bottom of your pie. Remember, I doubled it, so I got 4. So I do like to flatten these guys out a little bit. Kind of helps it not take quite so long in the fridge. You want to let your dough rest for at least an hour, up to 2 in the fridge. Okay, time to make some filling for apple pie. You're going to need about 5 or 6 apples of choice. I'm going to use Gala apples because that's what I got. You're going to need some nutmeg. You're going to need some cinnamon. You're going to need some ground allspice. You're going to need some butter. You're going to need some dark brown sugar. And you're going to need a little bit of flour. You're also going to need some lemon juice. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to peel our apples and we're going to cut them to size. This is about how thick I like my apple pieces for pie. In they go. Sit. Shake. Oh, that's a good girl. There you go. I am just that good. Okay, so I ended up with 5 medium Gala apples. That looks good enough to me. So there's like 1. Okay, so I have like 2.5 tablespoons of flour. We're going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then about 1/8 of allspice. I'm going to add like a 1/3 cup. Let's see what that looks like. I'm trying, you guys. Okay, so I added like 2/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar. And then we're going to add like half of a melt down. Add your apple mixture. Add all of it. Alright, once everything's all melded together and it's got like a thick sauce in here, we're now going to set this guy on the back. Gonna turn this off. We have to let this guy completely cool before we put it into our pie filling or it will melt your pie crust and it'll be a disaster. Don't do it. Don't do it! Alright, now it's time to roll out our dough. Get you a pie pan, spray it. Sprinkle your countertop. Get your dough out. Bam! Now we're gonna roll this guy out. I have to do up and down, and then kind of go side to side. Once I kind of got it the shape I want, we're going to gently pick this guy up. Gently. Get your pie pan over here. Lay your crust down. Once you got your bottom dough just how you like it, stir it a few times with a fork. Put your filling in it. That looks beautiful. Got some schmutz over here. Got to clean it first. Second dough going down. Look at you! Now that you got your top dough already, do the same thing, gently pick it up, and now we're gonna lay it on top. And now we're gonna pinch and fold. Pinch and fold. We're gonna just pinch and fold the sides. I don't go for pretty pies, I go for tasty pies.